Antes de chamar o próximo palestrante, essa parceria que nós estamos firmando com a IAT é justamente, principalmente, para estudos também na área de defesa cibernética, que é uma área que o Brasil precisa avançar muito na segurança dos seus dados. Mas ele já tem, por exemplo, dentro de uma plataforma de testes de cidades inteligentes aqui no Brasil, que nós temos em parceria com o Inmetro, uma das empresas israelenses, que é a Julgano, e que trouxe uma tecnologia para fabricar aqui no Brasil. Hoje se fala muito de cidade inteligente com a iluminação inteligente. Iluminação inteligente não é mais o LED de alta capacidade. Iluminação inteligente é aquele que, dentro da iluminação, nós temos a câmera de segurança, o Wi-Fi, o LED de alta capacidade, sensor ou inclusive de movimento para identificar de onde veio um som, etc. E tudo isso nasceu em Israel, dentre outras milhares de coisas fantásticas. A partir do próximo ano, a BDI vai estar formando grupos industriais, especificamente industriais, para que nós possamos visitar todos esses parceiros. E a partir daí, obviamente, esse convite será estendido aos senhores. Eu queria muito agradecer a Karen, que é não só uma apresentadora fantástica, que fez isso dentro do tempo, mas também que conhece tecnologia como poucos no mundo. Dando sequência, é uma pessoa muito especial, que nós gostaríamos de chamar, que foi o nosso primeiro parceiro internacional da agência, nós consideramos como nossos padrinhos, e que tem, na Coreia do Sul, um campo muito fértil, não só de desenvolvimento de tecnologias do futuro, de 4.0, mas eles têm uma área chamada Pangyo, que é absolutamente fantástica. Alguns comparam, é o Silicon Valley da Coreia, mas mais do que isso, é um local onde você realmente se assusta com a capacidade de realização do coreano e do que nós vamos consumir deles nos próximos anos. Pangyo, please.
Good afternoon. I am Byung-gyu Yu, the president of the Korea Institute for Industrial Economics and Trade. In order to save time, I will present singing my script at the podium here. KIT was founded in 1976 and has functioned as one of the Korean government's main research organs on matters of national economic policy. Our institute conducts research aimed at strengthening the competitiveness of Korean enterprises, fostering innovation, and promoting free trade. It's an honor to be able to speak with all of you today, and I am so glad to be given this opportunity to discuss global economy issues with the experts and specialists gathered here. My presentation today consists of 5 topics revolving around the first industrial revolution and small, medium, and mid-standing enterprises. In history, industrial revolutions have been similar in one way. They have all formed new economic, social, and political organizations through new technology. The first industrial revolution, through the invention of steam power, led to mechanization, the first great advancement in productivity. The second industrial revolution, through the introduction of internal combustion and electricity, led to the next major innovation in production automation. And the third industrial revolution, through the development and the expansion of computers and the internet, brought us the information age and informatization of production. Now we are watching the first industrial revolution unfold. The rapid development of artificial intelligence and robotics will lead to hyperconnectivity and intelligentization of production. There is some debate over whether or not the first industrial revolution exists. But in fact, we have already seen significant changes in both our daily and working lives thanks to technology of the first industrial revolution. Especially in transportation and logistics industries, major innovations are disrupting many businesses. For example, autonomous vehicles, delivery by drone, and smart ships are being is developed and in some cases already being used. By change are happening at the home too. First, a self-learning thermostat developed by a Nest can control a house's internal temperature by monitoring patterns and adapting to the outside environment. Second, educational robots that can intelligently adapt to children's individual needs are growing in popularity. In the medical industry, too, technologies of the fourth industrial revolution are emerging. For one, we have already seen smart bands and bracelets known as wearables that can measure various health indications in real time. Such wearables are becoming more and more advanced. Second, artificial organs made on 3D printers and the ability to edit the human genome itself will appear on the market. Big changes are happening in our social lives too. In San Francisco, you can eat sushi made by a robot for dinner and enjoy coffee served by a robot barista afterward at Carfax. And it's cheaper because you don't have to tip. And Amazon opened a new store in Seattle called Amazon Go, where there are no cash registers or waiting lines. You just walk into the store, choose what you want, and walk out. Your credit card is billed automatically. The production is getting smarter and more efficient in every industry. Smart factories where robots, machines, and humans work with each other, streamline production and minimize defects. In agriculture, big data, artificial intelligence, and robots are being used to reduce the use of chemicals and minimize yields, maximize yields. And the shale gas extraction, energy production, and electricity distribution, big data and artificial intelligence are being used to decrease the per unit cost of energy and increase efficiency. With these examples in mind, it is to see how the fourth industrial revolution and its related phenomena is bringing about seizable changes in all sectors of our economies and societies. As I mentioned previously, our social lives and the economy are being changed by hyperconnectivity and intelligentization. Both phenomena are blurring the line between production and consumption. Before, production and consumption were separate and sequential. But in the future, the Internet of Things, big data, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing have formed hyper-connected platforms will erase the separation and lead to an integrated production and consumption cycle. Until now, production and consumption was a sequential process, starting with planning and ending with sales. An important weakness in this model was how slowly consumer feedback was taken into account. But already, new hyper-connected platforms are allowing instant consumer feedback that is changing the production and consumption cycle. The end is near for the segmented and sequential production model, and we are moving toward a new unified system that should increase both productivity and satisfaction. Let's discuss 5 major trends we have seen in production and consumption. First, we are seeing the growth in personal goods and services sectors, the on-demand economy. For example, the American company sold offers customer shoes inserts to customers that take a picture of their feet with their smartphone. The photo is analyzed and a personalized insert is manufactured and sent to the customer. And Local Motors, another American firm, makes both self-driving and traditional vehicles with 3D printers using open source designs. Second, let's think about the evolution of consumers. Consumers are getting much smarter. For example, consumers have become participants in the production process. These are the new prosumers. Their feedback is actively used during the production cycle. They are also becoming more and more knowledgeable about the products. They are becoming smart consumers. And some of them have special knowledge that only scientists and engineers have before. These consumers can affect the product cycle in many ways. They can be called consumers. The third major trend in production and consumption is the convergence of products and services. And one company pushing this and is American firm General Electric. Through the industrial internet, GE connects product sales with maintenance, consulting, and finance. This has resulted in major productivity gains for its customers. Meanwhile, the way products are sold is changing too, with the revival of pay-as-you-go services. For example, Solar City, owned by Tesla, offers customers leases on solar equipment. The fifth trend in production and consumption we look at is the movement to short product life cycles. As innovation speeds up, so shortens the lifespan of products and services. Let's look at adoption rates of new technology in the US. 25% of Americans had adopted electricity within 40 years of its invention. And it took the telephone 30 years to reach 25% of households. Both the smartphone and the internet reached a 25% adoption rate within 10 years. In the current trend holds, will be replace our smartphone every year or so. Now, let's focus on middle-standing companies, MSEs. In the fourth industrial revolution, the main topic of this presentation. New innovations brought on by the fourth industrial revolution are growth opportunities for SMEs and MSEs. This is because MSEs are well positioned to use new manufacturing techniques and produce small numbers of goods that quickly capture new markets. Consumer demand is changing quickly, and only flexible companies can adapt. Dynamic firms that respond rapidly to market conditions have a major advantage in the post-industrial revolution marketplace. Even as global economic growth has slowed recently, large companies in SNS, the sharing economy, artificial intelligence, and electric cars have appeared and grown rapidly. New companies, Facebook and Airbnb, have been growth bigger than the older and well-established Samsung Electronics and Hilton Hotels. In the US, the FAANG companies, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Alphabet, along with the much older Apple, had emerged as some of the world's most important companies. And in China, the B8 companies, Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent are globalizing rapidly. Technology startups worth over $1 billion are members of the Unicorn Club and continue to grow in number. The most well-known members of this club are electric car maker Tesla, car-sharing service Uber, and O2O and financial technology company Alibaba. In the near future, the total number of unicorns is expected to exceed 250. Now, I'd like to examine some policies that major economies are pursuing in hopes of facilitating the growth of MSEs. Some major countries are gradually recognizing how important middle-standing industries are for growth and are making MSE-specific policies. Economic growth slowed because of the 2008 financial crisis, and many countries responded by implementing policies aimed at middle-standing enterprises. Germany, for example, was not seriously affected by the financial crisis or by the Eurozone crisis. The German economy's strong middle-standing enterprises, called hidden champion, helped the country beat the crisis. Among major countries, France and Taiwan have both created major laws aimed at helping small and middle-standing enterprise grow. In France, a 2008 law gave middle-standing enterprises legal definition. In Taiwan, a similar law was made to support small and middle-standing enterprise in 2012. Please refer to the following slides for details on the French and Taiwanese SME support policies. In France, the law defined MSE and also introduced related law for worker protections, taxes, finance, and other benefits. You can see details at the PPT. Here are some details on the French law. I hope you will see later. Taiwan realized in the early 2010s that manufacturing could not sustain long-term growth and that it needs to increase its expertise in core technology. To this end, it announced an initiative in 2012 made to enhance the global competitiveness of MSEs. To execute the policy, Taiwan has established a task force under the Ministry of Economic Affairs to monitor the performance of the measure and to provide feedback. Let's look at the measuring measures being taken in Germany, England, China, and Japan before moving on to Korea. Especially even years ago, Germany passed the MiddleStanding initiative. This policy was made of proposals for MSEs to open new markets, introduce new technologies, and reform taxes. The UK, following Germany, startup helped to grow in 2015. This policy identified 500 small firms that were thought to have growth potential. China and Japan have also implemented various support programs directed at SMEs and MSEs. Now we focus on MSEs in Korea. In Korea, a law was passed in 2010 that defined MSEs. The law's details are shown here. Middle-standing enterprises in Korea have reported strong growth in recent years. There are two primary considerations with regards to SMEs and MSEs. More than anything, SMEs should drive new growth and provide decent employment. Both own initiative MSEs can compete in the global economy. In order to develop MSEs, we should overcome Peter Pan syndrome in MSEs also. Finally, I'd like to outline some policy proposals that would foster growth for Korean MSEs. There are 4 areas in which measures must be taken to make sure that Korean MSEs grow in the future. First is bringing transition from SMEs to MSEs. Second, the government is focusing on improving Korean industry's core competencies to enhance the nation's global competitiveness. Third, policy initiatives recognize the changes brought by the first industrial revolution, and our government support seeks more technology advancement. It is also important that policies recognize the convergence of production and service and provide development support. And policies that encourage open source technological innovation will help new technologies spread quickly, enhancing the competitiveness of Korean companies. First, and finally, the government emphasized social responsibility by pushing for inclusive growth at MSEs. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share this with you. Thank you for your attention.